So we'll begin the 4-H exhibitor judging tips webinar right now, and we thank you for joining again. My name is Gary Wyatt, Extension Educator with the University of Minnesota Extension. In our forestry team, my specialization is agroforestry, invasive species, and also bioenergy products from wood species, and also bioenergy from grasses. So the purpose of this webinar is to really talk to 4-Hers and parents and volunteers about how they can better themselves in the judging experience at county fair and obviously state fair. I am a judge at county fairs and state fair in Minnesota for years, and have recognized some notes and tips that I just wanted to share with the majority of the 4-Hers. So these tips are going to be on the website and available to you at the 4-H website under county fair. So if you want to download that, that certainly is available to you even today. So you want to follow county fair rules. I've got a few slides here basically on county fair opportunities and so forth. Read and follow your county fair premium book and rules and regulations for your exhibits at your county fair. Also, there might be some regulations regarding 3D objects, which I'll encourage you to bring to county fair as your project, and to have as a poster project or notebook project. A 3D object is always fun to look at for people. And then obviously oversized projects might be an issue at your county fair, so do understand and talk to your extension staff about those types of projects. Real quickly, the rules continued for the notebook, and note the poster size and dimensions. This is the state fair rules, which most county fairs abide by. Posters, usually for the younger members, are 22 wide and 28 inches high. As you grow older in 4-H experience and exhibiting, we're urging older 4-Hers, like in high school, to exhibit with a 3-dimensional display, not to exceed 12 inches deep and 24 inches wide, and then 36 inches high. And then certainly your name of your county and your personal name in the county should be on the back of your poster. Usually at county fair and state fair, they'll have the exhibitor type cards on the front of your poster. Just wanted to talk briefly more in depth about the 3-dimensional displays, that you can have a notebook or a 3D item with these poster displays, and actually most judges prefer that. And so if you run out of text, or if you need more text to be explained regarding your project, I suggest, if you can't get it all on your poster, to refer to a notebook. And then if you have a 3D item that you can have on your project display or around your project display, that really is cool too. So that's the model down there in the center part of the screen. Again, to continue rules, regulations regarding county fair and state fair, certainly your safety regulations and guidelines, no firearms and gunpowder is allowed in these fairgrounds and facilities. And also, if you're a fishing sports person, an exhibitor, and you're wanting to bring in fishing lures, those have to be encased or some type of protective type of covering over the hooks, so be aware of that. And then lastly, certainly contact your local county 4-H program coordinator and your 4-H staff in your county for more details regarding these rules. Okay, so be excited about your project. Don't be afraid of the judge. Judges really want to learn about your project. So come excited to share what you've learned about your project and show them and tell your story. So the 4-H judges want to hear all about your project. So how you selected your project, what you used as resources or informational sources for gathering information regarding the research and learning more about your project, and then who helped you on your project. And it is your project, so be sure that you do most of the work. And certainly we want you to have extra help in preparing the project, but obviously judges can tell if the parents do the project versus the 4-Hers. So you want to do the project, but you can certainly have your parents and other adults help you out, and maybe brother and sister. So material cost and time spent on the project. A lot of exhibitors that build items really sometimes don't include this in the project material, and really it needs to be on the poster or on the notebook that you bring in that item that you built. The materials, the cost, the time spent on the project, who helped you, etc. And actually, if it's a step-by-step process, we urge you to take photographs each step along the way, and that's a great opportunity for a poster or a notebook. And talk about your project from start to finish to the judge. They want to hear all about it, and that refers they don't have to ask you questions every little statement. So just tell your story and continue with that. It's a great opportunity for the judge to know what you've done and prove what you've done. What did you learn? Tell them what you learned. You ever learn different skills, building, or different skills fishing or hunting? It's great stuff, and you want to share that and be excited again. And what were the challenges or hardest part of the project in doing that particular project? So consider the deep thought questions, provoking questions as a result of your project. Okay, what did you learn about yourself by completing this project? Did you learn you have patience or you don't have patience? What did you learn about that will help you in the everyday life in the future? And obviously patience will be a part of that. And maybe you learned a skill, that hunting skill that you're going to use the rest of your life. So be thinking about those deeper thoughts that the judge might ask you, and be thinking maybe of what questions the judge might ask you. So maybe at home you can pretend being the judge and looking at your project and what questions would the judge ask of your project. Be careful not to use too much text on posters. I think this is probably one of the biggest problems with many of our posters. Most of our exhibitors come with too much text. Obviously, think about a passerby in the county fair or state fair. They're going to look at your poster for the pictures, for the title, and draw them in closer. If you don't have an eye-catching title or photographs, they're probably not going to come visit your poster. So use bullet points, use attention-getting type of items. A 3D item is really good. Only have 1 to 3 sentences per photo caption if you can. And if you have more text, certainly include a notebook with your poster or your 3-sided display. Exhibitors can have a poster and a notebook. I think historically a lot of exhibitors thought they just have one or the other. And certainly one or the other can stand alone, but you certainly can have a notebook with a stand-up poster and a 3D item. So be aware of that. Photos of you, the 4-H'er, doing the project step by step in a poster or notebook is just fantastic and awesome. So do that. Have your brother, sister, parents take photographs of you working on your project, talking to an expert. All these things are really good to have in your project and in your notebook or your poster. When possible, add 3D objects to your exhibit. 3D objects is obviously, again, a draw-in for the public. They see that, and that might draw them into your poster or your exhibit and your notebook to talk more about it. So do think about a 3D object that you can exhibit. As we're talking about a poster or notebook, always include your top 3 resources and references. Really, we don't need a long list of them on your poster. In your notebook, you could probably list a longer list of references, but on your poster, only 2 or 3 should be adequate. And really look at the opportunity for websites. People are, if they're interested in more information regarding your project, they'll write down the website, or even this QR code is an interesting way to even promote your project a little bit further. There's agencies that have more information on the topics that you're sharing, and a lot of them do have this QR code that people can take a photograph of it and get the information. Ask an expert. I think this is maybe not done enough, so I encourage you as a 4-H'er to ask adults and people in the field, extension staff, and all these organizations listed below here, and agencies. All these people have specialties in water quality, in hunting, and DNR, and NRCS as soils and water, and conservation programs. All kinds of these agencies can help you, and you can access that information through extension or certainly those agencies by themselves. Ask about the 5 top points of these experts and highlight on your project. And they could probably let you have a 3D item or model of the topic that you're talking about. EAB, emerald ash borer, or anything like that would be great to have as a 3D item on your display. And consider handouts. A lot of these agencies print educational brochures that are available for the public and free of charge, and they're just really anxious to get this material out to public's hands. So if you have a topic of concern for Minnesota residents, ask the agency that's in charge of that particular topic. The ones at the left-hand side of your screen, MDA, Minnesota Department of Agriculture, that's the Arrest the Pest hotline. Those are little ID cards for emerald ash borer, brown Monterey stink bug, also gypsy moth, and thousand cankers disease, which affects black walnuts, and then oriental bittersweet. All those cards are available free of charge from the MDA by calling this number. So be aware of that. The picture of the three publications on the right, they're the U.S. Forest Service publications. How to Prune Trees and Oak Diseases is the middle one, and then the Tree Owner's Manual is the one on the right. And those publications can be accessed through the U.S. Forest Service in St. Paul here. So ask agencies if you could use some of their free handout materials for your display, and most of them will be glad to give you some information. Be prepared to tell your story about your project with the judge. They want to hear all about it again. So you can practice at home, in front of a mirror, in front of your folks, in front of your brother and sisters, but be prepared to just tell your story from the beginning to end and what you learned and the points you want to get across, people exhibiting at the fair and people that are coming to the fair to look at these projects. There's a lot of resources at the 4-H website, how our fair exhibits judged, and these are the website links. If you just go through the website on our 4-H website in University of Minnesota Extension, they've got great resources and references, and this publication will be available there also. Here's another great publication, Tell a Story with a Blue Ribbon Exhibit. Use the 4-H website resources and download some of these and print them off at home and review them before your county fair experience with the judge. Another website is Projects and Resources. In fact, this Tell the Story is there on the highlighted link at the bottom. Judge tips for 4-H exhibitors is our fact sheet here, and then more 4-H about county fairs is listed. This is Science, Technology, and Engineering and Math. All of these projects that are highlighted and under Citizenship and Leadership and also Healthy Living, all these projects have a hyperlink for more resources. So do make that available to you and take in that information that are on these websites. Here's a link to wildlife biology, and it has other resources below it. STEM is the science for science, technology, engineering, and math. And our expert, 4-H Extension Educator, Rebecca Meyer, is our STEM leader in the state of Minnesota. She's located at Cloquet, so be aware of that. And if you're doing a STEM project or want more information on STEM, she has a website, and there it is right there, is Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. And a wealth of information is on this website, and you can contact her by phone or email. In summary, 4-H judging resources are on the web. 4-H PCs and extension staff and volunteers can help out in answering your questions, and ask for help if you need it. Don't be bashful and not ask for help. If you need some help on ideas or preparing your exhibit, be sure and ask for help. We want you to excel in project exhibits at the county fair. Have fun in creating your project and just tell your story. I want to give thanks to Tammy Lorch in our Mankato office that helped with this preparation of some of these judging tips. And there's my contact information, Gary Wyatt. I'm also in Mankato, and you can email me at that address.